Because it's you and only you.
Day breaks and I'm burned by the morning light. I make the same mistake more than twice. Same song, but brand new dance. I wear out my third second chance. You take my breath and I can't get it back. Might be time for me to face the facts. The best me.
Hello everyone, we're finally back with a stream after a while of silence. I am extremely sorry about that. That was not intentional. Today we got exciting changes happening in the map, so I decided to do a stream of the map today. And so in this update, I'm gonna explain a few things. One, we got a new mod installed that I customized myself, and I'm calling it realistic traffic control. And then, which is a support of traffic control, but edited for my liking. But you can get it on CruiseForge by searching realistic traffic control. That is 100% fine if you use it. Traffic control still can work together. Just note that some things may be confusing on that part, so that because they don't work together. Anyways, another thing that's new is we're switching road mods over from the cars and chisel and bit style to full on first roads, including the paint. So it's no longer just one block, so we're having a lot of attempts. We're doing conversions as well on those, so you may notice some road variation differences here and there, but we're slowly working into that change. Some of the traffic lights have been updated already, and the interstate has been opened. And I'm excited about that, to show you what I did to open it, because I got tired of it being closed, and I decided it was probably best to have it open for this. Anyways, I hope you guys are having a good day today, and let's go ahead and get started here. So, this is the road in its current state. Now, today I want to get the ramp meters active on both of these ramps, since these ramps that's open, and get ramp meters set up on that ramp over there. But anyways, let me explain some of the changes here, because you can see the roads, they changed. Brand new, and I need to move that up for you guys. There we go. As you can see, these roads are newer than they used to be. We got the express thing with a purple outline of the paint going on for represent tool area. And of course we have signage and all of that placed around. Eventually these signs will have it. I'm calling these digital signs, even though they're not going to be used by open computers. They're actually just sign picture stuff, so I'm not just swap them out based on what the digital sign should be saying. I figured that's the best way of doing it, and I just realized my V2 model is way off, so let me reset position here. I really need to reset my keypad there. There we go. So now I should be looking correctly. also need to fix the audio drive because I don't think my camera's picking up my talking. So let's go ahead and choose a microphone here. This microphone. We should be set now because now it should be hearing me. There we go. Okay. Anyways, we got this new exit here for the express lane on top of the entrance. Exit. I haven't decided yet. I'm thinking of doing an express exit for every exit ramp locally. Now, of course, that doesn't include 485 as we get to that point. 485 is actually going to have an express lane as well. So I-485 will need to have an express exit on the express lane. Now, when that happens, these two will be spread out apart more. I'm planning on spreading out by 2 more lanes to allow both to go in as exit ramps on run lane exit ramps, so that way it works. And if it needs to be 2 lanes exit ramps on the express lane side, it will spread out more and then come back into the way it is right here. So it will spread off for those on those only, to give room for express only exits. This meaning that you will have to enter the express lane to get to them. Now, that is no big deal, obviously. Thank you for the follow. Anyways, and welcome to the channel as well. Anyways, so today we're going to go ahead and start off with these ramp meters. So they're already set up. These just have yellow bulbs in them, which will flash yellow to warn drivers that about to stop there, and then this one will be ramp metered when flashing. So that's how I do that. And then down here we have a red bulb on top that lets, when it's lit up, it lets a police officer know. So if they're sitting right here, they can look at their mirror and see if someone runs the red light. So be lit and illuminated when the red light is active. This has red, yellow, and green, just like a regular traffic light, and so does that one above. I do need to put one sign up here, though. And it's going to be from my sign pack here, so it's useful. And then I'm going to do one car right there. So there we go. So we'll go ahead and program this one first, then we'll program the other ramp, and then set that ramp up over there for this. So to do that first, we need to replace this hard drive because this hard drive has the old OS on it. And this will 100% be these, so we need to grab this one. And then I need to grab a hard drive. Okay. So it is important to have the numbers correctly done. So what I'm going to do, so since these go together, I'm going to have 1 and 2. And then if I switch to code, we're ahead and take this code. We're just going to take the base. New file it. And call it, let's see here, ramp meter dot paste that in. Okay. So now we're gonna assign a broadcast to turn the microcontroller on. However, no, we're not doing that on this. So we're actually gonna be commenting out these functions because we don't need them. And we need that. We don't need this setup here because, like I said, most likelihood a ramp meter will not be on by default, so we don't need to worry about it. The only thing that we need to worry about is making sure the lights turn off when the computer's off. And I have a solution for that. Which I'll fix another time later. For now, I don't think the computer will be shut off. If it does, so when the computer turns on, what we'll do is have it now. So we're going to do the light. So we're going to do Li equals to 1 and 2. So this is how we're going to do it. I'm going to do all. So the all function will hold all the light codes. And when the light first turns on, we'll do set light all. And then we'll just set it to red, but you know the lights don't have it. And then we'll just do off. That would technically turn off the red light, but it will also clear the states of all the frames. So when the computer turns back on, if it was on at the time or period of the computer crashing, we'll be able to just turn on the computer, run the script, and it will clear it off and continue the script from there. Now we don't have functionality here, so we're going to actually clear the functionality here. And we can go ahead and remove this functionality for the loop 3 because we don't need it. Okay. So now we have basically a simple code for what we need. So we got 1 and 2 in. The next one I'm going to set up is this red light, which would be 3. So we're going to call it red bulb. I'm going to put it under 3. Next one's going to be the yellow flashers. Now, all of these go at one shot. They activate all at one shot. This would be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Should total 4 in total. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it actually be 7. And we confirm that when our card has 7. Go ahead and pair those together now. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you look at the card, we have 7 slots so active, so we're good. So, lucky for us, one ramp meter script works on all ramp meters. So we don't have to keep recoding these ramp meters over and over again, which is actually quite nice. Now, there is a GitHub to this, and I'm actually go ahead and link it in the chat now for you guys, that holds all my scripts that I use. It's actually not a GitHub. Anyways, there's a link that leads to all my scripts. I'm going to be sending it right now here as soon as I get logged in. I'm just trying to find my login there. Okay. But yeah, you get the point. Anyways, so now we have all 7 scripts built. We can actually go ahead and start work. And this code to this ramp meter will be in here at the end of the day. Anyways, here's the link for you guys. Wait, I'm not logged in there, so I need to. Here's the link for you guys. That link leads to all my scripts that I built that's in this GitHub. So you can kind of see generally how I control my scripts. These scripts work both in realistic traffic control and traffic control. So no matter which mod you're using, you'll be able to use it. And for traffic control, instead of grabbing this one, it's just for the realistic traffic control, you actually grab these ballistic cards that look like these. So that's actually not that confusing. And then it gets used on open computers. Okay, so now we have to code the lights. So all the lights should be in here, so from 1 to 7. So we're going to go ahead and do that. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So that will turn all the lights off. Now, normally I use a... Now I'm going to show you what I mean. So if you look at some of my other scripts, let's say for this example, if we were to come down here, you see there's a microcontroller down here that controls this. This is what tells the lights to turn off, and when they turn on, they flash. Now, because ramp meters don't need to flash afterwards, I'm thinking that it would be okay to not add the microcontroller to the setup. Now, obviously, everyone has their own styles. You could do the microcontroller. You can even not do the microcontrollers if you know what you're doing for the others to make them flash when they turn back on. Because technically, you could do is the same thing. They stay on if the computer dies. And once the computer turns on and you run the script, you can have it turn on flashers, and that will clear the scripts as well and put it to flashing mode, and then set the time frames that you need to set to. And I'll show you the script to one of the lights that has the microcontroller. We'll do east. So as you can see, when it first turns on, it sets the bundle output to 200. That sets the bundle output to the microcontroller to tell the redstone, hey, turn cyan to 200. That turns on the control box, which turns on the flashing. After a few seconds. Oh, sorry. When the computer first turns on, it turns. It turns off the color to make it flash. Sorry, because it flashes when the thing is off, and then after 60 seconds, it will turn on the microcontroller, which turns them off, the lights off of flash mode to clear them out, so that way it can start doing its normal calls and functionality. So that's how that works. Now, obviously, you can do what I'm doing for the ramp meter, and just turn them all off and then turn them back on for the scripts. Anyways, now that we're set, now we need to set this loop perfectly, because what we want to do is during certain time frames, we want to have the ramp meter work. Now, the fun part about that is we don't want a ramp meter that's going 24/7. We want it going off based the traffic amounts, right? Well, in Minecraft, there's no true way of telling how much cars are on the road, even with sensors and player sensors and all that. We could possibly do that with open computers, player sensors, because we actually, in favor, do have these sensors right here over the field for the express lane. These don't serve any function other than to mimic that it's a card reader for your car's card reader. These just register that you're in the zone for the express lane, and these actually register the payment. Anyways, now you may be wondering, how would someone go on code this? Now, I am gonna head and uncover these because we are gonna be programming one of these. Because we are gonna be programming it, so I need to be able to see. Let's go ahead and see. That's how you take it like out of function in realistic traffic control. Traffic control does not have this functionality. You would have to find another way to do an out of service cover. Unfortunately, this is a RTC thing that has the covers. Anyways, if you go. Oh, you didn't see that. Anyways, ignore it. So we're going to go ahead and code it. So what we're going to do is between 6 a.m. and game. This is all game time. So between 6 a.m. and 9 a.m., the ramp meters will be active. And then again, at 5 p.m. through 8 p.m., the ramp meters will be active. So there's two different time frames, but they're only active during those certain time frames. That is important. Now, we also want to make sure that the lights activate after a power failure, for example. If the computer is turned back on, if it's in that time frame, it will continue back at its normal cycle. Now, when the time is hit, right? So we need to do a few things. One, we need to check that it's time. Two, we only need to run the starting sequence once. So when it starts, I would like to see this light go from green to yellow to red. And then it goes from red, green, red, green, red, green, constant. No, yellow's not used often. And I'll be right back. Alright, I am back. Anyways, so if you ever seen a rent meter in real life in the US, you probably know what I'm talking about. Because IRL, a rent meter basically is just a rent meter. So a rent meter's job is to limit traffic. So let's say we have a big balloon coming down this ramp, and it's rush hour, 6 o'clock rush hour, 5 o'clock, 5 or 6 o'clock rush hour. I'm not sure what it's exactly called. But if it's rush hour, this freeway is already backing up, especially with this construction going on for the express lane that's supposed to help with traffic as well. So if it's busy out, what's gonna happen is this platoon, if that rent meter isn't active, this platoon's gonna back up traffic more and more and more and more because all these cars are merging on. So that is bad. We don't want that in real life. I mean, here we don't have rent meters where I live, but that's unfortunate because it gets really busy and we can really use them here. But traffic's still gonna get bad with rent meters, and I understand that because that's probably gonna be our next claim. They're gonna be like, Gamer, the rent meters, they aren't gonna do much. They're not. But it makes, at least from what I've been researching, it makes traffic last a lot less longer than it does without the rent meters. So with rent meters, traffic only lasts like maybe a few hours, where without, it can last hours and hours and hours, and it may be past 9 o'clock by the time traffic starts to clear up. So with rent meters, traffic can start clearing up by 8 o'clock before the rent meters even, when the rent meters shut off, the traffic's already clear then. So that's the whole point of a rent meter, is to help lower the amount of time you're waiting in traffic and all of that mess. So yes, you stop being stopped on the rent, but it won't be stopped for very long because, as you see here, I'll be programming it. I try to program realistically, but also not too long to where it doesn't make sense in Minecraft anymore. Anyways, let's go ahead and get to the programming of this because I already chatted long enough. So we're ahead and back into other. So first, what we're going to do is have some variables that can be changed. So first, we're going to say on. That will eventually be default to false. So what that does is let us know that the rent meters are currently already active. If it's just turned on, it will show that red, green, yellow, and then red to let people slow down and come to a stop. They're just going straight to red because that doesn't make sense. Anyways, next we have, and also go for the same way by the end of the sequence when time's no longer there. If it's on currently, what we'll do is if it's not the time, when the else statement runs, I will turn them off by shining green for a few seconds and then fully cutting the power, turning off the lights completely. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is go ahead and set up an if statement. Now, lucky for me, I'm actually going to show you. So if I was to come here, this light over here, the alert recently got changed up, and it's actually going to be changing again. We're probably going to be doing that in the stream as well. I'm not 100% sure though. Anyways, this light functions normally during the day, but let's go ahead and set to, I think it's 14,000. Yeah. So at night, I'm going to go ahead and let the cycle go through, because I missed a chance to hit it, so. But you can see why I made RTC a thing. It's just so much cooler, plus you also have the covers, so you can cover the lights, which is more realistic, if I had to say. There we go, all the lights are turning yellow here. Now now you may notice that this light's still flashing at this time instead of allowing this light to have green as well. It's because it hasn't been programmed to do that yet, and I'm actually reprogrammed this intersection completely to be do something totally different than what I'm showing you now. But this is what I'm using for checking time, because this has a time checker in it. Which checks for the time frames at about hour, which is what we'll be doing. Here, if this lake can hurry up and finish its cycle, I can show you. Because that only happens at the end of the cycle. And there we go. As you can see, it goes into flash mode. Now, a new cycle, what's going to happen is, I'll explain it when I get... Actually, no. I'll explain it when we get to that point. Because there's no point of explaining something I'm not working on. But yeah, that's the same code where I'll be pulling from for the time, actually. That's what does that check. So we head back into the coder. So that's dirt off a dirt road. So let's use 18 dirt road connection. If we scroll down, so night flash is what's off currently. Okay. So what we do is, if not night flash, then we say wait true. Now in loop 3 is where it does that code to check for the flashing. Now luckily though, for this script, we don't need it to do this loop because it's not doing that. It's doing something totally different. Anyways, as you see, during the night time, it will be that, and during the daytime it's normal. So the mode is actually night flash is true. Now, we wait for the time to be just right before running this. That way, if it's in the middle of a thing, it's not just going to flash as soon as when it just turns green and people get mad at it. They have to stop again for whatever reason. So that's the cycle completely finished before killing the things to flash. We simply use that microcontroller to set the bundled output to 0 and 200. But like I said, I'm trying to get rid of the microcontrollers the best I can by coming up with new functionalities and stuff like that, such as power loss. Now, right now, power loss isn't an issue due to a lot of these servers actually having a creative cell. But there's one intersection where power loss actually is an issue because we have power now, officially. Well, we'll be having power. Right now, everything's still on creative cell, so actually, no. There is no intersection without a creative cell at the moment. But anyways, we're going to be stealing this functionality right here. Just the if statement. And that's about it. Then we're going to paste it. Now, we're going to want to paste it twice. And we want to paste it twice more. So what we're going to do is ramp off, ramp on morning, ramp off again, and then ramp on afternoon. So we already know so we went so the morning one would be 6 a.m. through 9 a.m. and then we're gonna have it 5 p.m. through 8 p.m. So there we go. So we have our time frames. So this will be the one afterwards, so we want to set for afterwards. Now this is all in military time. 24-hour clock. So we're going to do 12-hour to 24-hour. Converter. Chart. By looking at this converter chart, I can see, so 8 p.m., so we're going to start at 21, which is what I set for. And stop at 5 a.m. So as long as between that time, so as long as between 9 p.m. and 5 in the morning, the light, nothing will exactly happen. Right now I'm just setting times so that we can actually see this because we don't need it. Now we do need to remove the wait functionality. No, it's normal. We need to remove normal. And if it's not on, or no, if it's on, sorry. So if it's on, we'll do that. Okay, next one. This is when the ramp is on in the morning. So we're going to say 6 in the morning and then to 9. Now we don't want it to be on before we set that value. So, but that does, if the ramp meter is not on, error. Actually, no, we can't check that. We'll check that in a little bit. So we're actually going to smooth that. Okay. So now we have that. Next one is when the ramp is off again. This is after 9 a.m. So this would be 10 a.m. Now this will go all the way up to, because we want it back on at 5 p.m. So this will go to 4 p.m. And that will be hour 16. So it'll go up to 4 p.m. to be off. And then we'll come back again at 17. That's 5 p.m. And that will end at 20. Now you can kind of see how this code works. It just sucks for these times. If it's in between those times, it's either or. So if it's greater than 6 or less than 9, it will activate. The lights. Now, this is where it's a little complicated. So if not on, we'll run this. Otherwise, we'll run this. That's going to go in all of them, even the ones that are off, because we can actually use that to our advantage. So that's an if statement. If this, then do that. If not, do this. If this, do this, else do this, basically. Anyways, now, just to make sure it's valid, what I can actually do is head over to my Discord here. You cannot see this because I don't have it programmed for you guys to see this. What I'm going to do is head, if you're in my Discord server, you can actually head in and use my RAM button for chatbot. I'm going to ask chatbot here. Yes, it is. Okay. That's what I always like to do, is double check to make sure it's correct, because I'm not 100% a good Lula coder, but I'm good at making these traffic lights happen. Okay. So we're going to code what happens when it first turns off. So, if it's not on, that means it's already turned off, so we're set. We don't need to do anything set, but we are going to print off. Okay. Now, if it's on, first of all, we want to set on to equal to false. Then we want to set the lights to green. Remember, these lights actually happen constantly, so every time the cycle finishes, it will recheck and run through the whole thing. Now, this is where it's important to have sleep functionality. So actually, this will have something. This will have os.sleep1. This just prevents the computer from crashing due to too many calls being called at the same time, and it slows it down. Okay, next thing on this list. So, the first thing we want to do is turn off. So we're going to set lights. And we're going to set them off to the yellows. Now, if you come up here, you can see this is called yellow. So we're going to type in yellow. And this is going to be called yellow because that's what the bulb is. And then we're going to call it flash to flash it. Now, if this had multiple changes like the big ones, what we could do is say false here, but we don't need to put anything there because by default it's set not to clear all the cycle phases. And we don't need to worry about that. Okay, after that, what we're going to do is set lights. And we're going to set it to the, what's it called? Light, LI. I'm just going to call it green. And we're going to turn those on. Actually, no, we're turning these off. My bad. After a while, time will pass, so we're going to say os.sleep. I'm going to say these should be on for 4 seconds on green. If no, it's clear to go. After a while, the lights will actually go off, so we're going to set li to be... Who's going to set to green? I'm going to say off. There we go. So that's our first off setup. And what we can actually do is take this code and paste it for the other off, because the offs are actually going to be the same exactly. It's actually going to be the same thing for the ons. They're going to be exactly the same code with each other, which makes it 10 times easier to code, believe it or not. Anyways, next we have is this one. So now this one, we want to do the opposite. We want the lights to work if they're always so. Here's where it gets complicated. So they're in the first half of the cycle. If it's not already on, we're going to set on to equal to true. And then go to the cycles sets. We're going to set lights to li. And we're going to do green. And we're going to say on. I'm going to set lights yellow. I'm going to go ahead and set the yellow to be flash. So that will set those yellow lights to flash. Next we want to do is os.sleep. We're going to give it 6 seconds before it turns yellow. What we want to do is set the li to yellow on. Now we don't need to turn off the green. Now most people be like, but we should turn off the green, right? No, it will clear the states of all the traffic lights when it runs. So the other bulbs will automatically turn off. Now you do need to do that if you provide false at the end. That is more useful for when, for example, I'll show you an example when that's actually handy. That is handy when you have something like this, where you need to activate this bulb and the green at the same time, but you don't want the green to be cleared, so you have to keep the state, so that way you can add that, but not remove everything off the thing. So that's when that's useful. But that's not going to be useful in any cases in this, so we don't need to provide anything there. Anyways, sleep. We're going to sleep for 3 seconds, because that's my default yellow timer across the world. Then we're going to set to red. And this is where the script starts. Now, we have 2 things we need to do. First, we need to turn on this red light as well, because that's actually important. That should go on at any time. Anytime the red light is on, this red light will be on as well. And I actually thought about something. to save on script and make sure they both turn on at the same time, what we can do is actually basically do what I did for this. There we go. Because it's going to be on at the same time no matter what we do. So what we can do is actually erase that. And now we have one line of code. Because red is just for all of the lights that need to be turned on to red now. Okay. After that, we'll OS that sleep for 1 second. And then let the cycle go through. So this is where it goes. It's actually going to go to set light. We'll do li. And actually, we'll include that and that. There we go. Because it's just a red bulb, so that doesn't matter. So actually, we can replace this red with light now. There we go. So li, we're gonna set to green. Iron on. And because that bulb frame, that single bulb frame doesn't have the red in it, I mean green bulb in it, it should work just fine, no problems. Okay, next we have os.sleep. And what we're going to do is sleep for literally 1 second. And set light li to red. There we go, it's that simple. That's enough for one card to get through and one card only. And that's the whole point, is only let one card through. No other cards can go through that green because they won't be able to make it. And there's no need for yellow because that's going to allow cards to go through. And that defeats the purpose. And we're going to os.sleep again for 1 second. And then from there, actually no, we're going to do 3 seconds, sorry. No, 4 seconds, let's do 4. So every 4 seconds, the light will turn green again. Now, of course, for the first one, it will let through after 1 second, but after this, it'll be every 4 seconds, the light will turn green and back red again. And it's that simple. Now, I just need to copy this and paste it down here. There we go. We're all set. So all we have to do now is put it into the computer on. So I just copied it. Now, you can edit live on OC on open computers. You can. You don't have to do what I'm doing if you're on single player. But I'm on a server, so I can't set that up. So we're going to head and power this off. Get this. Alright, we also need to put in the card and turn it on. Oh. Also install there. But yeah, that's how we handle that. Okay, let's see here. We got to install the OS. So I need to get 2 things out of open computers, and that's a disk drive here. Here's how many the OS of Open OS. There we go, Open OS. And then we can actually boot this up to something. And we need to install. Yes. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to edit traffic.lua. Then I'm going to click the insert key, which will paste all of the code. Save. And quit. And enter traffic. Okay. From there, we can go ahead and uncover all these because they're officially on active term. Now what I'm doing is I have to update the block because I'm in a server, so the server for some reason isn't like updating right away. But I had tested this in single player, and the cover removes as soon as you click it. So if you're playing single player and using RTC, you don't have to worry about that. Now we're going to type in at useful again. Now these are to be prepared to stop signs. Okay, then we're typing at useful, ramp metered, and that one would be removed as well from the update block nearby. At useful, and the ramp metered. So there we go. So now we just wait, and we can see everything from here. There we go. So I set it to 2400. That's before 6 a.m. So as you can see, nothing's happening yet. It's because it doesn't need to happen yet. Testing is boring. But this is how developers actually do things too. When I'm coding Rambot and stuff, this is what I have to do. I have to sit and be bored while I wait for stuff to run. Do we can cheat, at least try to get as close as we can. Let's see if that. Let me go get a tablet here to run some custom scripts off of that and see what time we're. Going to I really need to import a script into this tablet for this. I forgot to import time. So this script's actually not going to work. You know, this time's not imported. But just as a reference here to see what time it actually was. Yeah, it was 8 o'clock. So these lights should have been flashing a while ago. But that happens. You forget to put something in. That's the whole point of coding, trial and error. So we were waiting for another thread scabbing the clock so I could see what time it was. So now we have time imported. It will check for that time. So we're covered there now. Let's just copy it again and come in here. And RM traffic dot lua, and it wasn't actually running for some reason. We'll edit traffic dot lua again. Insert it. Save, exit, and we'll run traffic again. Now time to hours after 8, so it should kick in actually, because it's after the time frame, so. That should be better. Once again, my thing's off sync. My camera fell a little bit. I just realized. There we go. Okay, so we're just waiting for it to be active here. It's currently 8 in the morning in game still, so we just wait. I think, yeah, I have it set to 9 a.m. Okay. We're just waiting for the time to be right here. Now you may be wondering, shouldn't I have set printing to know what's going on with these lights? Probably. That probably wasn't the brightest move of me not to do that, so. I'm just keeping it on time, because once it hits that, well, we'll continue going at 9 a.m. It'll just end at 10. That's when it finally turns off. It's 10, I believe. Yeah, it starts off at 10. So we have at least one more hour before, in game before these lights come closer. Oh, nope, it crashed. Okay. We're going to do this. No, wait. How did I do this? For false and true and stuff. Okay, so yeah, it's okay, so we have the time. I'm gonna do a basic loop 3, which has a script to it, but it does nothing. So we'll do a loop 3 as well. That will keep the printing happening. I'm gonna go ahead and remove this because we don't need it. We're going to OS sleep 1. We're going to go ahead and not open up a port. Okay, this should, in theory, work. So it should activate almost immediately from when I activate. So RM traffic .lua, edit traffic .lua, and paste it in once more. So it should go instantly unless. And then go ahead. Our time's now 13. Oh. Okay, now it's 6. Okay, so it should be activating right now. But it's not. For some unknown reason, it's not working. So I was kind of keep it awake. Make sure it's actually running the script. It's just odd because we're not getting any errors either. It's like the loop is going through it, but it can't complete past that loop. Real quick, I'm gonna run this through ChatGPT as well, because ChatGPT will be able to detect an issue. It's 7 a.m. So, and it hasn't started yet, so I haven't found there's an issue with it. I feel like it's trying to, but something's preventing it from running. So let's see. We have everything we need. I'm gonna reboot the computer. But before I run the script, I do want to do one thing. Wait a minute, what was I doing again? Let's see if that will fix it. So it's 8, so it's still before 9. So these lights should have already been active by now. And it's not printing either. Oh wait, I didn't add the print yet. So let's do that. Let's go ahead and, once again, restart this computer. And see if the script's even running. Oh, come on. We'll do ramp this time for this. Nothing's printing. That means it's erroring somewhere. If you have colors, you have sides, we have the required information that we need. Okay, so this is looking for flash, correct? Or is it set to flashing? That's what I need to check as well. Yeah, it's looking for flash, okay. And it's set lights, that's set to, right? Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, everything is correct. Yeah. Let me find weight up here. Oh. Let me try that. Or it is printing now. Okay, it's 6 a.m. That's what I set it to. You see, that's what it is. It is actually running. It just can't set anything. And I have a feeling it's because of the on versus not on thing. I'm going to edit ramp 2.lua. Insert that. Yeah. What we're going to do is ramp 2. Make sure it's still time. Still within time. These have bulbs in them. There has to be something that doesn't because something's airing. Everything has what it's supposed to have, so that's not the issue. Let me grab another card. I hate lag. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7. We're going to swap them out in case I lagged during that one time. Like you saw just now, I lagged so I didn't add properly. So in case I triple clicked it and I just added it, so I saw it, but it wasn't correctly set up. So we're in ramp 2. It is 9 o'clock. So we may have missed. Yeah, I think we missed it. So we set it back to 6. I'm not sure why this isn't working. I may have to do second step of troubleshooting here. And that is add some prints. Okay, I added a few within the wait statements so I can see if the wait statements are running like they're supposed to. Just go ahead and paste that in. I do need to cancel the script. This will just allow me to see where the problem is. Go ahead and insert that. Now ramp 3. is it? 7, okay. Should be within the time frame. I put Prince in, so what should happen is when it turns on it prints, when it turns off it prints, etc. In case I need to do that, let's go ahead and let's go ahead and go cut off that computer again. We're gonna save, exit, I'm gonna go ramp 4. This I think fixes another issue. We're gonna check time here to. I don't think we're in the a lot of time here. Things are lagging like crazy, but yeah, we're not in a lot of time. Time set 0. So we'll see what happens now. The time is just kind of on, so I'm not too sure what's going on with the script. I may have to troubleshoot this off stream here because if this takes any longer, we'll be taking up the whole entire stream just trying to troubleshoot a stupid ramp meter. I mean, that's all we've been doing this whole stream is ramp meters. Mess. Okay, yeah, I have to take a look at what's going on after stream. Next stream, I'll discuss what I fix and change, and you'll probably see it in the script when this is fixed. For some unknown reason, it does not want to do anything with the lights whatsoever. Let's set our time. Let's see where we're at now. 13. We need 17, so we're at 13. 14, 15, 16. That should set us inside the frame. Oops, my bad. should set to where we need it. Almost. There we go. Almost. 15, 16, 17. So 2 more thousand. There we go. Right on the. It's the last chance for these rent meters to actually function like they're supposed to. And it's not. Okay. I have no clue what's going on. I have to look more deep into it and see why it's not working. I have a feeling it's if statements. I asked. Let's see. I'm gonna ask ChatGPT one more time. But then. Okay. I'm gonna see here. Look at the example here that she handed me versus what I have. Let's go through it. I wanted me to change these ores to ants, but when it first gave me this code for the flashers, because that's what I used to make it, it told me ore. So there's something else preventing this from working. And it's not that. I'm not sure what it's talking about. So if not on, then else. Okay, so that's working as intended. Oh. I found the issue. We don't have mode or weight and stuff like that. So obviously it's not gonna do anything with that code. Duh. Okay, now that's fixed. We have it copied in our clipboard. Let's see if I can get it working by coming in here. Okay, we're gonna rm ramp.lua and edit ramp.lua and paste in the new code. And our ramp. Okay, now it is not in the time frame, I don't think. Oh no, it is. The lights are flashing. We got a green light down here. It's gonna turn yellow. It's gonna turn red, and that light should be red as well. There we go. As you can see, almost works. Obviously, the red is not. Huh. What's happening? Huh. It is supposed to be off right now. But it's constant. So now we have a new issue. It's looping it even though it's not supposed to. So we're actually going to do ands on these. It says that makes sense actually now that I think about it. So we have every time defined, so it needs to be and statements. So let's try this instead, because obviously that was horrible. Right now it's supposed to be turned off. Maybe ChatGPT did have a point with error and instead of or. That might be just me. I'm overlooking it. Okay, there we go. Okay, so the time is currently not within time. I'm going to do is time set 0, and it should instantly kick on. So we should start seeing flashing. So the time is now 6 o'clock. Yeah, it is 6. So we should see a change. Unless I set one of the... It must be asleep somewhere preventing it. Did I set asleep to really high? No, I didn't. Okay. Because right now it's supposed to be flashing. You know what it might be? Let's go ahead and at the end of all the if statements here before the end of the thing. Let's do an os.sleep 1. What that will do is a proper working loop to happen. That way if something's not triggering right, it works. So we're going to do edit ramp 5 because I'm done deleting for a moment again. We're going to insert. Save, quit, and then call it ramp 5. There we go. So the ramp meters are on. The lights are flashing like they're supposed to. As you can see, the light's gonna come on. That red light's gonna come on. There we go. Now the light is working as intended. Now we just wait for the off to trigger, which will happen actually sooner than you guys think. There we go. The light's off now. These flashers should have turned off as well. But we still have that issue of because it's nowhere in time. Oh, still is. There, now it's no longer in time. There we go. Now it's shut off. Okay. That worried me for a second. And these should be off as well. There we go. So that's a ramp meter that's set for certain times. Now, you can go above beyond. Set players, do whatever you want to do, or your own times, or just once a day. Whatever you want to do. But I figured I did 2 rush hours, once in the morning, once at night. Now I'll put the same script over there when I'm ready. Anyways, We spent way more time. Oh wait, it is even can see it. I'll let you guys see the turning on sequence, but that's about all I'm gonna show you because I don't feel like waiting for. So you see, lights turn on, these start flashing. This starts its startup sequence. And there we go. So we're all set now. As you can see, it's gonna go green, red, green and red, and green and red constantly. Until time is up. Anyways. Oh boy. I hate servers. I wish this was on single player, but I don't want to pop it on single player right now. I don't feel like trying to copy the world over twice. Okay. Now this light, we need to reprogram because as you can tell, its game moved around the script. An easy way to do this is just to reprogram it completely. So we head over to the other. So we're going to take this script and change it up. So you may notice a bunch of stuff here. We're going to delete all of it. So, local, north, south, left will equal to 1, 2. So let's head out and get a card. Let's start programming these in as we enter the numbers. So 1, 2. We should have 2. There we go. Now the straights will be 3, 4, 5, and 6. We're not programming that one in this new script. So local, north, south, south, north, south, straight equals 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we should be at 6. 7 and 8. So that's the north, south, right. And that equals to 7 and 8. Okay. Now these ones are gonna be easier because we don't have any right turns to worry about because it uses what's called a slip lane. Now, because the slip turn arrow is actually becoming the green, we need to introduce a right turn on this one. So I added a new right turn bulb frame there. Okay. Now we're gonna do. Let's do these lefts. So we're at 8 currently, right? Yes. So this would be 9 and 10. So we'll do local, west, east, left equals to 9 and 10. And what's nice about this is now all the straights can go together. So we're at 10 at the moment, so this would be 11, 12, 13, 14. This would be 11, 12, 13, 14. Now, we have north-south ped. That's something new I'm adding into my scripts. So, the pedestrian button is not existent, so we have to do timing. So we're doing north and south peds. So it's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that should bring us to 18. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. And local west east ped would be the same thing. So 19, 20, 21, and 22. So we should end at 22 by the time we're done pairing these directions. And 22, there we go. Alright, so now this is set up. Now I have the control box hidden now. Out of sight, out of mind. Because that's how I'm switching things around, actually. I'm getting rid of the microcontrollers by putting the servers down here, which will be useful. So in the future, scripts will change to adapt. But for now, we just want to turn off, and I'm actually going to go ahead and pair that in. I'll turn this back on so I can Okay. So, we're actually going to head and edit the scripts. As you can see, all the lights are flashing right now because I powered down the server. That's what we want to happen. Now, we're actually going to swap a few things. So this we're going to swap. We're going to cover that and uncover that. I'll just place a block down here to... There we go. So we swapped it. Now, you may notice the light is not paired up for this. So we're going to come down here. And find the thing that it pairs to, which is this one. So we're going to grab it. Oh. We'll grab it, pair it, and then what we're going to have to do is we don't want to turn on the script and then turn back off because that would take forever to do. So we're just going to click that button. I put a button down for this exact use. There we go. So now we have proper flashing on that bulb. So that's how I flip the frames around. And that will just remain out of service until it's ready to be used. I don't know. Did I do the PEDs? I did not. So we're also going to do PEDs now. All the PEDs should be flashing. As well. We come down here, and yes, the lag drives me nuts. There's nothing I can really do about that. So we're gonna just flash all of those red. What I'm gonna do is make sure all of them are flashing properly. There we go. So that one did not get paired due to the lag situation, so I'll have to come back and pair it. Okay, so now that that's paired, we're going to press the button one more time. Oh, come. But if you know what type of lag that is, let me know down later if you're on YouTube, down in the description and stuff, because I need to know. Anyways, so evidence being activated now, including the PED box here. So we need them activated. So now we have, let's call it the new light setup. We now need to code it. And you guys didn't see that, I know, but it's okay. Anyways, so we need to set this up because we have all the PEDs and stuff hooked up. So first we need to do this. So no stuff left, we don't need to change. North, south, straight, we do not need to change. North, right, we just need to add south in there. East, west, left, that's fine. Add east, west, south, which is fine. Also, we need to add one more. Set lights. Now what we're going to do is north, south, ped. And luckily for me, I actually have access to the GitHub. So what I'm going to do is go to the GitHub here, go to Bob types. And I plan on documenting this soon in traffic control. But in traffic control, if you really need help, you can check out the traffic control. Just remember, there's some bobs that aren't in the game. So if it's not in the game, like the naming, you don't recognize the naming of it, just know it's not in the game. Anyways, so don't cross is a simple don't cross. And then we'll set that to be on. And we'll set lights as well for the east and the west east peds. And we'll do don't cross on. There we go. So everything is hooked up now to the programming. Now we've got to program it. Now, luckily for us, we have a general line of sight here. So north, south, left is on. North, south, left is yellow, and then red. When this turns green, all we have to do is add south to the right. And then remove this. Because it no longer is needed. Okay, there we go. Then here we're just gonna head and delete that, and then delete that because it's no longer needed. The rest is simple. Next we have the east or west, east, left, which will flash. So we can actually delete that one. Now what we have to do is west, east, north, south, right. West, east, straight. Can be deleted because now we no longer need that. Once again, we're just changing these two letters to be that way. But we're done. Now, west, east, left, and then west, east, straight, green. Very simple. And then west, east, and west, east. And then the script will loop all over again. So that's how we fix the script. Now all I have to do is head into game, head into this rm traffic.lua. There we go. And then edit traffic.lua and paste it in. Now, you may be wondering, what about the flash mode? Because I actually messed up. Oh my god, I don't want to do flash mode anymore. So, Instead, we're going to keep, in this script, we're going to keep everything. Except delete this. Undelete all of this mess. Alright, so now everything's back to normal. So, you have it on or off. Now you may be wondering, what's this for? You see. So at nighttime, I don't want either of the lefts, west, east, north, south, going green. I just want them going straight to normal mode. So what we're going to do is during the first half of the cycle, we're going to do an if night flash, then this. And we're just going to end. So as long as night flash is enabled, as long as it's not a night flash, then it will go ahead and do the lefts. We're going to do the same thing down here by simply terminating it right there. So that's a new cycle. I don't want anything flashing at night anymore. It's just too laggy when it flashes. So what we can do is close, edit, traffic.lua, and paste in this new code. So what this does is instead of flashing at night, it will take the code, the lights, and turn them green at night, which won't activate the left turns since all of them have flashing capabilities. And we didn't program the PEDs yet, and I'll get to that in a moment. Yeah, first I just want to make sure the script's actually working the way it's supposed to before I program that, because those are going to be the opposite ends. And actually, we're not activating the PEDs in this video stream, so I'm going to recover them. By covering them, they render them out of service. So the PEDs will just have to use the traffic lights to and actually it's a good thing that we're not doing it because it didn't work anyways. Okay, there we go. So now we're just waiting, and that failed horribly. I didn't. Oh, it errored. Probably errored up here. Let's see here. Wait, what did it say? 35? 109. North-South PED. Okay, so it is don't cross. So that's the correct thing. Okay, so we're just gonna remove that then. I gotta come down here. Make sure that's turned off. Which is actually going to activate the flashing of those PEDs. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and have these PEDs not flash for now. Just remove the... Okay. So, because I had to remove it from the script. But the PEDs are in there, so once I get the chance, it'll work. Okay, so now we're just checking to make sure it works. So now we just wait for the to go through. This didn't change either, which worries me. I do have it programmed to change, so we'll see. Yeah, that's not working as it should. Did it error again? No, it did not. Okay. So we're just waiting for the thing to go through. So we can see if that light actually changes or not. So now, because it's daytime, the lights are going as normal. Yeah, the light is not working. Let me check all the bulbs and make sure that they are and they are the correct yellows and stuff. And all right, and it is 8, from my understanding. So. It's just not doing anything with them at the moment. It's supposed to, but it's not. So what we're... Oh, I know what's going on. So it's the correct script. Wrong control card. That's what happened with the PEDs. Is that the PEDs weren't in there, so it was airing out because I couldn't find any of the lights for those. But anyways, we got this set up now. Now, of course, later on in my imaginary, we pretend like there's 2 different companies, the programmer and then the construction company. The company's what installs the lights and takes on the lights, though the coding company's what codes the traffic lights. So, obviously, the construction company will have to come back later and take down the old lights. So, for now, the coder just puts it out of service. That's how my OnDemand works. So now that should work properly now that we have the proper card in, which assigns the new frames, including the PEDs actually. But the PEDs aren't being called to, so they're just off. And there we go. So it's working as intended. So right now the lefts are going because it's daytime. No, because we had to set us finished anyways, so I went ahead and set the next time frame. But anyways, all the lights are working as intended. Except this isn't working. Something happened to them, but that's okay. I'll fix it in a moment. There we go, it's green. That flash works as it's supposed to. We're just waiting for the check. Hello? Hotel intersection is red. This is where a malfunction call will come in because of the sign. It says it's out malfunction. Yeah, 511. Yeah, this is definitely a malfunction. All the lights are not supposed to be red at the same time. This is where you'll have to treat it like a stop sign until it starts functioning again somehow. It should be functioning. It's trying. Ooh, I know what's going on. So in the loop 2 we have this. We actually want to remove that. And actually, I'm going to be changing some things around here. For the main street only, though. So if we find the north-south straight. So we have this yellow flashing for the north-south lefts. Which is good and all. Don't get me wrong. That's supposed to happen, but it's missing. But what we're going to do, since we have it not there, we're going to do if not this, and so if it's not, we're going to do set bundled, not bundled up, set lights. We'll go ahead and set the lights for north, south, left, yellow, arrow, left, 2. And that will be flash. So at night, we'll go ahead and set the lights to flash. That way they're not waiting on a red light all day long. Now during the day, it'll be red throughout the whole entire cycle. Which is perfect. And what we'll do is, when the yellows come on, we'll set the yellow to be on the red. So this is the only instance I have to actually physically change in this code, because the other ones were. I'm not gonna do the whole night mode flash, night mode, day mode thing for the other direction, except the only difference is it doesn't go green at night. Because for the main street, what I'm gonna be doing actually is allowing it to go through at green still. Because here's the one flaw I just remembered. Main Street's busier than a side street. So side street, so Main Street, it stays red during the day, and comes, or doesn't go flashing mode. Where at night it flashes, but still has the green cycle. Then the side road it flashes and goes green during the day, but only goes flashing at night. That's how my man's truck, because side streets aren't going to be as busy at night, so we don't need the left turn sequence clogging up the main street. But the main street, because it's so busy even at night, it would need that leeway to turn in if it needs to. So we'll use this new script. It's set by, and that's why it hasn't changed yet, if you're wondering the whole issue with the, because it's nighttime thing. It's a good thing I tested that. Go ahead, insert. And save. Enter. And then enter traffic. Okay, and we'll see what happens now. It should 100% work what I stated to. So at night, the left turn should actually go into left mode still, because it's actually is that time frame right now. So. And it isn't morning yet. And I'm actually gonna set back to 1400. Okay, let's see what happens. What time is it? 21. Okay, so it's not. So right now the ramp mirrors are active as well because it's still that time frame. There we go. All the lights are turning red. Now the turn signal should go. Yep. Even though it's nighttime, because it doesn't matter. On the main street. Main street needs to continue going freely and able to get protection because there's so many lanes of traffic that the main street has to cross. Now, it wasn't for as many lanes as this main street has, then it would be different, but because it's a US route, they cannot stop US route from having protected green. Usually my road, they can't, so. It's only the main street that doesn't need a protected green, so. Anyway, so it's flashing because it's nighttime, so that works. So we're going to go ahead and set time to 0, so it doesn't affect anything. Okay, so it's going to green. Which is a good thing because I just remember something. And I'll do this off stream, but what I'm going to do after the stream, because the stream's already long enough, is fix this up a little bit more. Because, 1, I need the cycle to finish off before it finally goes into that new cycle setup. 2, these right turns need to turn red with it at night. That way, it's not just flashing while the green goes on. And these greens need to just come straight on and skip the left turn sequence. So I'm going to be fixing that while off stream. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed this stream, please make sure to follow on Twitch. And if you're watching this on YouTube, leave a comment down below and let me know what you think and what else should be done to this world. Anyways, I'll see you guys later.